Hi, we're talking about translating real-life equations and solving them by looking at problems. Number one says Joshua scored 12 less goals than Tommy. If Joshua scored 37 goals, how many did Tommy score? Tommy's is the one that I do not know, so I'm going to leave him at T. I do know that Josh scored 12 less goals. Less means subtract, but it means that I'm subtracting 12 from whatever Tommy scored. So let's go ahead and put Tommy minus the 12 because I already know that Joshua has scored 37 goals. So it's going to be equal to 37. So this is my new equation, and I'm just going to put this up here as the T because that was the missing number. And it's T minus 12 is equal to 37. I've got a one-step equation, so I'm going to draw my line and split my equation right down the middle. And I know that what I'm doing with T is I'm subtracting 12, so I need to add 12 to both sides of the equation. So I'm going to subtract, I'm going to minus 12 plus 12 is going to equal to 0. The opposites are going to equal to 0. And Tommy has scored 49 goals. Now, according to the way we did our equation, let's go back and check and see if this is right. By checking and putting 49 into the original equation, minus 12 should equal to 37. And I do know that when I take 49 and minus the 12, it should equal to, voila, exactly 37. So that's correct. So I know that Tommy scored 47 goals, okay? So I've checked it, so I know it's right, and I can move on from there. We've been talking about equations and inequalities, so let's think about that as we read this next problem. Number 3 is Corbin skated at least twice as many laps as Benjamin. Corbin skated 8 laps, so we know how many Corbin skated, but we don't know how many that Benjamin skated. So Benjamin is going to be the number we're trying to find. So we do know that Corbin skated at least is telling me that he scored the same amount, he skated the same amount as Benjamin, if not more. So this is going to be a greater than. Corbin is going to have more laps or will have equal amount of laps as Benjamin does. We also know that Corbin skated 8 laps. And we know that he scored, this is going to be 2 times. I'll put the little multiplication sign there. Corbin skated at least 2 times as many laps as Corbin. So we're going to come up here and say, okay, if we know that Corbin had 8 laps and he scored at least greater than or equal to 2 times the amount that Benjamin scored, we're going to write our inequality as 8 is greater than or equal to 2 times B. Now, remember we talked about inequalities and equations can be solved the very same way. We're going to draw our line, dividing our inequality. We see that 2 is beside a B, which means it's being multiplied to B as it stands now. So in order to undo multiplication, we have to divide. So we're going to divide both of these by 2 because we want to isolate the B and get it by itself. And B is going to be less than, well, when we divide 8 divided by 2, it's 4. So 4 is going to be greater than or equal to B. Now remember, I've told you, math teachers normally like to put the variable on the left-hand side, but I have to flip everything. That means flipping the B and the 4, but I also need to flip this to make it less than. So I know that Benjamin ran 4 or less laps. So Benjamin ran less than or equal to 4 laps because he can equal to the 8 laps, but we know that Corbin had at least 2 times more laps than Benjamin, and that would make sense if Corbin has 8 laps and Benjamin only ran, maybe skated only 4 laps or fewer. So I'm going to let you finish this worksheet. Please remember, try the bonus at the bottom, do your best, and we'll check these in the morning. Thank you.